Hey, what's up, you guys? Um, so this is a really hard video for me to make, um, and I'm really scared, and I never thought I would be making this ever. Um, and I woke up this morning and I just had to, and and I didn't want to turn on my camera, my lights, I didn't want to do my hair. I just wanted to turn on my computer, talk to you guys, because that's what I have done since 2008 when I started this channel, and I just want to be honest. And I'm making this video because I feel like it can help a lot of people. Um, over the last year, um, I have been extremely sexually confused, and I mean my whole life, but this last year is when it really hit me. And you know, I always wished that I was gay, that I was just 100% gay for so many reasons. Number one, that means I would know who I was. Number two, it would be a lot easier for me to be accepted by people because, I wear wigs and dresses on the internet, and I'm feminine, and, all these things, and it'd be so much easier to be like, yeah, no, I'm gay. Um, but I'm not. I mean, I'm not completely gay, and I can't sit here and say that I am because that's not real, that's not genuine. But I also can't sit here and say that I'm straight. And, and this is something that I've come to the conclusion through therapy and also just being honest with myself. I am bisexual, and I have said it out loud once before in therapy, and I have never really talked about it until now, publicly. And the reason I'm talking about it is because there's a lot of coming out videos of people who are gay or lesbian, and they're so confident, and they're like, I've known since I was 5, I've always been gay. The Ingrid video was fucking the best video I've ever seen. I loved it. But it made me cry because I'm not that. I don't know who I am 100%. And I know that a lot of you guys might feel the same way. When I was 5, um, I always had crushes on girls, but I also liked boys. And I told my family, and they were very religious, and I love my family, but that was not accepted. It was like, no, you can't do that. God will not accept that. Um, so I just shut it down, and I just repressed it. I didn't want guys, I didn't want girls, I didn't want anybody to ask me out, I didn't want anything, I didn't want to be kissed, I just wanted to be fucking invisible. And I did that up until I was 18, when I was 400 pounds. And then I lost all the weight, um, and then I started YouTube, and I became Shane Dawson. And I became the guy who everybody called gay. And I was so defensive of it because I was like, no, I'm not gay. I'm not gay. Because when I was a kid, no, everybody told me it was wrong, and I'm not gay. So I would just kept repressing the feelings, and then around 21, I had my first kiss. I was like, oh, I'm not gay at all. I'm straight. So I started dating girls, and I dated 2. One for about a year, and this most recent one, Lisa, for about 3.5 years. But the whole time I had feelings that I wasn't dealing with. And I'd say the first year of my relationship with Lisa was the best year of my life, and I didn't even think about a guy at all. And then around the second year, I started feeling guilty, and I started being attracted to guys as well, and I didn't tell her, and I didn't tell anybody, and I started really hating myself and really being ashamed and scared, and I turned to eating disorder, and I turned to, you know, just depression, and I wrote a book called I Hate Myself. I just really went on a journey of self-hatred, and last year I went to therapy, and I talked about it, and my therapist said a lot of people are on a sexual spectrum. Not everybody is either gay or straight. And this is why I'm making this video, because I feel like a lot of you guys might be confused and scared, and you're not talking to people about it, and I'm fucking here for you. And this is what she told me. A lot of people are on the spectrum. Some people are here in the straight world, some are here in the gay world, some are in the middle, some are more gay than straight, some are more straight than gay, but everybody's on a spectrum. And you need to just accept that you are somewhere in the middle. And you don't need a label. You don't need to figure out exactly who you are right now. You're 26. Just live your life. So, I wasn't ready to tell anybody that I was feeling any of this. So, I moved out, and I told Lisa that I needed a break. And the relationship wasn't going amazingly anyways, because I was so depressed, and she was like, why are you so depressed all the time? And so I moved out, and we were casually seeing each other for the next year. And through that year, I was going to therapy every week, and I was just trying to figure out who the fuck I was. And but I was still not doing that. I wasn't letting myself do that. And then 2 months ago, I sat down with Lisa, and I told her that I was very sexually confused, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done. And it was very sad, because I didn't want her to think that I was gay and that I was hiding it from her and that I was using her as like a beard, because that's what the whole internet probably thinks. And I didn't want... I wished I was gay, because that would be easier, because I could just say, I'm sorry, Lisa, I'm gay, and I'm leaving, I'm going to be with the guy, and I love you. Like, that would be so much easier, because it's like... But that's not what it was, and I'm attracted to girls, but I have never faced that I'm also attracted to guys, and I needed to figure that shit out. And she cried, she hugged me, and she was amazing, and she told me to go live my life and figure shit out and just be me. And that's what I've been trying to do for the last couple months, is just not be so hard on myself, and just be open to love, whether it's a guy or a girl, and just be open to it, because I don't want to go my whole life closing it down. And then when I'm like 65, like Bruce Jenner, I ended up realizing I don't want to do that. More power to him, he's amazing, she's amazing, but I didn't want to do that, because I want to live, you know? And I don't want to hate myself anymore. I don't want to be sad all the time. And so I started telling people this week. Told all my friends, told my mom, and my brother, and my mom was so supportive. And you know, a lot has changed since I was a kid. That was back when religion was everything, and I had a hard childhood, so it was all about Jesus and God, and trying to get us through things. And now my mom is so much more open-minded, and the world is so much more open-minded, and I haven't had one person in my life, you know, be mean about it. And Trish and Drew and all my friends have been so great. And now I'm just in a place where I don't know who I'm going to end up with. I don't know what my life is going to be, but I just want to be honest about it. And I don't want to lie. And I don't want, if I'm on a date with a guy and a fan comes up to me and takes a pic, I don't want it to be a thing, and I don't want people to be like, well, Shane has a secret gay life, or I want to just be happy. And I want to love who I love, whether that's a guy or a girl. And I don't want to be guilty about it. And I didn't want to make this video because I can't honestly say I'm gay. I can't honestly say I'm straight. But I can honestly say that I am open to love in any way, and I guess that makes me bisexual. And I know a lot of people make fun of bisexual people. I've made fun of them in the past, obviously projecting, because people are like, "Oh, you're just gay. You're just in denial." It's like, well, I can't deny that I fall in love with girls. I can't deny that. I can't deny that when I meet a girl and she's pretty and I get the butterflies and I just want to kiss her and I just want to, do all those things. I can't deny that, And just to get detailed for a minute, because fuck it, let's just be honest, I have had sex with girls and I have loved it. I lost my virginity when I was 23, I think, which is embarrassing, and it was one of the best moments of my life, and I loved it, and it didn't feel fake. I didn't feel like I was lying to her. It felt amazing. I have also done stuff with guys, and I think the thing is, I just love people, and I'm attracted to their heart, and also I just like both genders, and I don't want to feel bad about that. But I also don't want to label myself and just now, from now on, everybody's like, "Oh, Shane, the bisexual guy," or like, I don't want to make a movie where I have a love interest who's a girl and then have all the people be like, "Oh, I don't believe it because he's bisexual." And I don't want to make videos about it all the time. This is the last video I'm going to do where I talk about it, because it's not me. I'm Shane. I'm a comedian, I'm a writer, I'm a director, I'm a YouTuber, I am a podcaster, I'm whatever the fuck I am. And I am bisexual. That does not define me. And if you are out there and you're confused and you haven't talked about it, you haven't told your friends, and you feel scared, let me just tell you, the more that I've talked about it to my friends and to my family and to people in my life, the more I've realized that a lot of people feel this way. People you would never expect. A lot of people in my life have told me, I think I'm bi too, and I've never dealt with it. I've never tried it out. I've been too scared. And if you're feeling that way, I'm here to tell you, who the fuck cares? Fuck it. Love who you want to love. Life is short. Nobody's going to hate you for it. God isn't going to hate you for it, because God loves you. And if you don't believe in God, even better. But if you do, like me, and you're scared and you don't want to piss him off and you don't want to go to hell and all those things, you just have to remember that God made you who you are for a fucking reason. I'm this way for a fucking reason. I can love multiple people for a reason. And I think that's why I am where I am today, because I'm just so full of love. So, alright, that's my video. I love you guys. I hope this helped, and from now on, you know everything about me.
I didn't know what I would be getting into when I first watched this video, which was just now. I had not seen it prior to right now. I saw people posting about it on Facebook. It was on BuzzFeed or whatever. So I wanted to make a reaction video because I knew it would get a reaction out of me. And I thought, oh, Shane Dawson, he's a famous YouTuber. I'm not going to say it was eloquent, but it was sincere. It was a very genuine way to come out, and I never had a proper coming out. I was just sort of bisexual. I got confused. I was really, really confused for years. I remember my first girl crush Never told her. And I have no idea where she is today, so probably never will. But I didn't really tell many people. I certainly never really told my parents, at least not until I was an adult, because I didn't know how they would react, and frankly, it didn't seem like any of their business. Like, if they reacted poorly, I didn't really need that in my life. So I figured I would just be who I was and sort of not say anything. um, and sure enough, when I came out to my father, he was fairly supportive of me. I think he thought it was like one of those phase things, you know, that those things that girls go through, just doing it for attention. But I sympathize with Shane, and I can relate and then I can't, because I know it's a lot harder for men to say that they like men, because that emasculates them, because then that puts them on our level. Then it becomes a whole, oh, you like guys? It's the idea that they're suddenly closer to being women than before that makes them seem more fragile and less respectable. I'm sorry, my hair's a mess today. I haven't done anything. There's no makeup. All the bags under my eyes. Oh. I just wanted to say that it's okay to be bisexual. It's okay for anyone. It's okay for women. And I don't think it's fair that women get all of this bullshit about it's just a phase and you're just experimenting and it's not a real thing. Like, how fucking dare you to think that you know me better than I know me, to think that you know my brain and how I feel, despite me telling you otherwise. That no matter what I say or what I do, like, I could marry a girl tomorrow and you'll just, someone will tell me it's just a phase. She just didn't experiment enough in college, so she's just done something reckless because she didn't get it out of her system early enough. But don't worry, she'll come to her senses. And no, it's not like that. I remember being confused. I remember being scared. And I also remember not telling people because I didn't want to, because I didn't want to deal with that. I was in middle school. I had enough bullies. I had enough fucking problems. I had enough shit people would make fun of me for. I was also pretty fucking fat back then. And I had really ugly, huge glasses and a unibrow, and it was awful. I did not need anyone calling me a carpet muncher or any of those, like a bull dyke. I remember staring at that girl in my English class in 7th grade, and I remember just spacing out and looking at her and wondering, why was I staring at her? Why am I always staring at her? I don't understand. I'm surprised no one caught me because I did it like every day. Or maybe they did, but they just thought I was weird or mentally ill. And some people would probably still agree that I am. That's fine. But one day it just kind of snapped in my head. I was like, oh. 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 Well, what do I do now? Do I tell someone? What do I say? Why would I say it? No one has asked. No one's asked me. Hey, Danny, just, making small talk. what's your sexuality? And I dated guys, but I also wanted to date girls. So I did. I did date girls. And I've been with girls. And I mean, it's definitely different from being with guys, but it's about as different as the difference between one guy and another guy. Everyone's different, but it's just as genuine, and it's just as rewarding, and it's just as lovely. I was a lot luckier than Shane, and I recognize that because it didn't eat me up for most of my life. I just sort of accepted it in myself and said, fuck what anyone else thinks. But I recognize that a lot of people have a hard time being in the gray area because not a lot of people believe in that gray area. Not a lot of people believe that there is a spectrum. And there is. Very much so. Contrary to what a lot of straight people think, that straight people aren't the only ones that give a shit. There are a lot of gays and lesbians who get pissy and sort of attack us. Say, well, just pick a fucking side already. Oh, you're just asking for attention. You don't know what it's like. Don't pretend to be like us. It's like, we just want to go about our business. We just want to go about our lives and not have people tell us that our lives and what we do in our lives is for the sake of attention. If that's what it is, I don't want your attention. I don't want their attention. Their attention is mean and critical. My friends have all been very, very great about it. Because as I grew up, in my life right now, it's not something that I need to bring up or admit to when I meet people. It's just sort of a fact that I am bisexual. And maybe I'll mention it in passing, just sort of as this is true of me, as is my hair color, as is my eye color. No one who is in my life today has given me any shit. If that is what someone wants to hate me for, then I don't want to be liked by that person. Then I don't want their affection, and I don't want their approval. I remember I was an adult when I'm not going to say came out, but casually mentioned it to my mom. And I remember her being less than thrilled about it. She's probably more free-thinking than most people her age, which is nice, which is a good way to be brought up. I had a lot of freedom growing up, but I never felt that I was completely free of judgment. I don't fault her or anyone for being a bit taken aback when they find out. And I feel for all the young kids, all the, all the kids in middle school and high school, even people my age now who can't really acknowledge what they are afraid to because of the hostility that comes from both directions that say pick a side. And there is a toxicity in that mindset, in that mentality that no one is addressing, that them versus us. that there's only two options for you. I am admittedly one of the luckier ones, because I accepted myself very early on. And I have friends who accept me for who I am, and they didn't really put up much of a fuss. And for that I am so grateful. I guess I just wanted to make this video to say that it's okay to be confused, and it's okay to take your time and understand who you are and who you love and what you like. And I also wanted to make this video so that I could say to those who never were as confused, who knew from the get-go what they were, if they were gay, if they were straight, if they were asexual, hell, I don't know. If you knew what you were from the beginning, from the starting gate, understand that there are people in your life who may be having a very difficult time trying to understand themselves. It's okay to be confused. A lot of people are confused. You don't have to know right away everything about yourself. Because if you did, that'd be really boring. If from the day you were born, everything was clear as day. And for anyone listening, it's gonna be okay.